A vaccine, when it's taken, is an inoculation against a disease so that the disease, when it comes, will not alight and grip you in your body because you've built up a resistance against that disease. In fact, a vaccination actually contains part of the disease that you're being guarded against catching. Institutional Christianity in the 21st century has turned into inoculation centers in which the people become vaccinated against the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit and the manifest life of Jesus Christ becomes a virus in the eyes of these earthly, natural, flesh preservers, the people who run natural churches and organizations without the Holy Spirit's presence and manifestation. If you look at the pastors and you see what they're doing up behind the pulpit and the way the individuals are responding to this pastor, and you see with the kingdom of heaven eyes that God gives us, then you will see that this is precisely what's happening. That pastor in the flesh teaching the Bible and teaching the way to be a Christian in principles, they're teaching you how to be a Christian by principles naturally in the natural mind. They're teaching history and theology, which is man-made and natural. They are not standing behind the pulpit and manifesting the person of Jesus Christ so that people know that no man speaks as this man is speaking. When Jesus speaks in a man, it is not the same as all the fleshly, worldly organizations called churches. It has an effect, and that effect is evident to everyone sitting there, that this man is speaking not as other men in the flesh speak. But that's precisely what is not permitted in this politically correct environment within these church buildings, with these worldly centers of maintaining flesh and offering it to the Father as if he will accept such a thing when he only accepts the manifestation of his Son, that which is sourced in his Son's life through the Holy Spirit in individuals. That's all that is righteousness. Everything else is flesh. If we cannot identify the manifestation of the Holy Spirit, no church is possible under any condition. Individual living stones, those that have been regenerated and have the Holy Spirit governing their life moment by moment, those people must see the Holy Spirit in each other, or else you will be scattered in the wilderness your whole life. And we are. But yet these flesh centers, where men seek the flesh of other men, and the man chooses himself to stand behind the pulpit and do everything in an academic way, not in the manifestation of the person and truth and life and power of the Holy Spirit. Now, many people claim that they can manifest the Holy Spirit, have you noticed, in these centers called churches. And so the pastor will put his hand on you, push you down, and if you go down on the floor, this is a manifestation of the Holy Spirit, they say. Or they would say, if you do not speak in tongues, and that manifestation of the evidence of the Holy Spirit is there, then you have a problem, you're not saved, or whatever they determine. But these are just man's attempts to manifest the Holy Spirit. When the true life and person of Jesus is manifest, the effect is always very much the same. And the living stones need to recognize what that effect and what that life is. And they should know because they spend time sitting in front of their Father in the Holy Spirit, waiting upon the Holy Spirit, and communicating with their living Father. So when they see a person speaking from what they've heard from their living Father, they hear the voice of their Master. They hear the voice of the shepherd, of their Father. His sheep hear his voice without knowing that the voice of God is speaking through that individual, or he is manifesting in that individual. And we cannot identify, and we are not allowed to identify. That is the vaccination and inoculation against Jesus Christ, who is not welcome and who is cast out and driven out. And there is the experience of everyone who truly has the Holy Spirit in these organizations, naturally and fleshly. Fleshly organizations, men seeking flesh of other men.